Hello everyone. Were you one of those thousands of people who went up to London for the big celebrations? All those people outside Buckingham Palace, red, white and blue everywhere. Well, we had a celebration too. Not as big as some, but I still put on a really good spread. The trouble is, it wasted so much of my rations, and I used most of my points coupons food as well. I haven't got any points coupons left till the end of the month and the new 4-weekly period. But we had a wonderful time, didn't we, Jeeves? But it's now time to tighten our belts and to worry about how we're going to feed some sweet treats and some appetising tea time snacks to the family. Now we've used up so much on that celebratory food. But do you know that's where the Ministry of Food come in so helpful for us in our kitchen? Do you remember a little while ago I showed you a cheesecake recipe from Cecile's Cookery Corner in my Woman's Weekly? Well, the Ministry of Food Domestic Science advisors are testing these old tried and trusted recipes and seeing if the same results can be achieved using much less of our precious rations. And you know, this recipe that they've just brought out does exactly that. So here's the Ministry of Food's cheesecake recipe. So I'm going to start off by making some potato pastry. Now that's my pastry tartlet base is made and I'm ready for the filling. Now I'm sure you're going to ask me, how is this recipe different from Cecile's cheesecake recipe? For a start, there's no golden syrup in it at all, no flour and no ground rice. So although flour is not rationed, that ground rice and golden syrup are points coupons food. And of course I have none of that left and no points to purchase it with. It does though use an ounce of sugar, but it only actually uses 1 ounce of sultanas I'm using, or dried fruit, which, as I'm sure you'll be able to see, is very lucky because that's my last dried fruit. I've used it all up in the celebrations. We're also using a lot less fat. Now the Cecile's recipe called for 2 ounces of margarine, but I'm only actually using 1 ounce of margarine melted, and that is because of that wonderful ingredient that we all have in our Dig for Victory gardens, and that's potato peat. I've started off using 2 ounces of well sieved or well beaten floury mashed potato, and that of course is a fat substitute to take the place of that extra ounce of margarine in Cecile's recipe. Now I'm still using an egg, but of course now I'm using our dried egg, so I'm going to mix up 1 reconstituted egg, a tablespoon of egg powder with 2 tablespoons of water, remembering not to use straight from the tap water, and of course that handle of your spoon for really good mixing. Now I'm going to add my 1 reconstituted egg into the mashed potato, and I'm also going to add the ounce of dried fruit, sultanas I'm using, and also an ounce of sugar. Pop that in, mix up, and add either a pinch of nutmeg, which is what I'm going to use, or you could use a little bit of lemon flavouring. Either are equally as pleasant. Now give that a really good beat so that the egg and the sugar and that mashed potato is very well combined. Beating some air into the mixture and ensuring that there are no lumpy bits of mash at all. And then finally we're going to add the fat. That's 1 ounce, just 1 ounce thankfully, of melted margarine. Pour that in, and again give that a really good mix up and beat until the whole mixture is creamy. Now pop some spoonfuls of your mix into your patty tins. This should make between 9 and 12. I made a big batch of potato pastry and I've made some Kentish pasties for the weekend with it as well. Now these are going straight into a moderate oven for about 20 minutes. let's get them in straight away, and there might be one for tea. Or a little bit overdone. I fell asleep in a chair, too tired, but there they are, they'll do. Lovely cheesecakes. So ladies, if you've been worried about giving your family tea time treats, now those celebrations are over and your rations have gone, don't worry. These cheesecakes from the Ministry of Food and good old Potato Pete will see you through to the end of the month. Lovely. Just what the doctor ordered.